Perching on the outermost edges of the road, Endry leaned forward on his spear, its blunt end creating a perfect pocket in the soil while he absorbed the panorama. He would have to cross a small river before he could make it to the tree line that gave the peak its skirt, bordered by reeds that were blowing in waves as the wind brushed over the countryside. Endry pulled his water sack from across his shoulder and let himself have a drink. He dug his heels into the soft dirt to make a trail even more noticeable for the night and the rest of the townsfolk that would be following before continuing his trek off the road. Endry ran into the wild. He held his pole bag tightly, embracing both his rifle and many of the tools Endry used for his survival, over his head when he approached the reeds. The tall stalks had been concealing the river's edge, and Endry was now up to his waist in the water. Even with the warmth of the sun coming down at this time of the day, the cool of the season and the winds hitting him across the face were more than enough to chill Endry to the bone. When Endry made it to the gap in the grass, he did not hesitate to continue his trek into the darker, deeper waters. He was soon up to his chest, then neck. Still with his spear and bag held aloft and dry, there was a few brief moments of anxiety when Endry was forced to tread at the deepest point. Before his feet touched the brown muck that constituted the solid ground at this moment, but it was not long before Endry had crossed the barrier to the mountains, again waist-deep amongst the reeds on the opposite bank. The trumpeting sound of the heron echoed throughout the small valley as the beast flew overhead and landed amongst the reeds. No less than 30 paces from Endry, more than close enough for the bird to strike out at the spear-wielder without delay or notice. As the heron was landing, Endry instinctively crouched to the point where everything below his nose was submerged, balancing the load on the top of his head. From the heron's perspective, Endry had hoped he looked like nothing more than another piece of driftwood amongst the grasses.